Well, it is true. I believe Congress should designate how the money should be spent. I agree with that. But the big difference between the way I voted and the senator voted is I always voted against the spending. I voted against all the spending. There's only been a couple appropriations bills I voted for in the past, 26 years I've been in Washington. So you're a big spender. That's all there is to it. You're a big government conservative. And you don't vote for, right to work and these very important things, and that's what weakens the economy. So to say you're a conservative, I think, is a stretch. But you've convinced a lot of people of it. But somebody has to point out your record.
I would convince. I think I have an opportunity to respond here. I've convinced a lot of people of it because my record is actually pretty darn good. I supported and voted for a balanced budget amendment, the line item veto. I voted, in fact, I used to keep track when I was in the United States Senate of all the Democratic amendments and all amendments that increase spending. I put on the board something called a spendometer. If you look at my spending record and you take all the, quote, spending groups, I was rated at the top or near the top every single year. I go back to the point. I am not a libertarian, Ron. I agree with you. You vote against everything. I don't vote against everything. I do vote for some spending. Okay, I do think government has a role to play, particularly in defense.
We'll let everybody get in here, but at first I wanted to bring in Governor Perry on this. We'll stay on this subject. Don't worry about it.
I'll let you back in here, Ron.
You've called Senator Santorum the king.
I think you've just seen a great example of why I got in this race. Because I happen to think that I'm the only outsider, with the possible exception of John Huntsman, who has not been part of the problem in Washington, D.C. The insiders in Washington, D.C. We have to nominate someone that can beat Barack Obama, that can get the Tea Party behind them, that can go to Washington, D.C. and stop the corrupt spending that has been going on. And it doesn't make any difference whether you're an insider from Washington, D.C. or you're an insider from Wall Street. That is what Americans rightfully see is the real problem in America today. They want someone who has a record of executive governing experience, like I have in Texas. I've been the commander-in-chief of 20,000 plus troops that get deployed. I have been the governor of a state that has created 1 million net new jobs. That is a record that American people are looking for. That is what Americans are looking for, an outsider that is not corrupted by the process.
So, Governor, you're saying Congressman Paul is an insider?
I am telling you, anybody that has had as many, here's what frustrates me, is that you go get the earmarks and then you vote against the bill. Now, I don't know what they call that in other places, but Congressman Paul in Texas, we call that hypocrisy.
Well, I call it being a constitutionalist because I believe we should earmark or designate every penny. You designate weapon systems, you designate money to go to spend $1 billion on an embassy in Iraq. That's an earmark too. I say that Congress has more responsibility. But this thing, back to Senator Santorum, he ducks behind this. He's for this balanced budget amendment, but voted 5 times to increase the national debt by trillions of dollars. This is what the whole Tea Party movement's about. Quit. Government's practically stopped over increasing the national debt. You did it 5 times. So what's your excuse for that? That's trillions of dollars. You kept this thing going. You didn't do very much to slow it up when you had a chance.